go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing.
Welcome to Crafty Beach. This is Julie, and today I am going to give you lots of 4th of July DIYs that you can try for a tier tray. It is going to be the 4th of July before you know it, and I always love to do some 4th of July tier trays. Now, this is an unboxing of a tier tray that we're going to use in a couple of the tier trays today. I got this one on Amazon, and it is one of my favorites. I have this in white and in wood. This is the wooden one. And if you are interested in like a tier tray like this, I do have it listed in my Amazon shop below. I believe this one was $39. It's really nice though, and I love the like rectangular shape of it. I like to kind of buy like these larger tier trays like this. And look, it came with a little note. That's fun. Because I find that they hold more than a lot of the DIY ones that I've made. So I just wanted to show you how easy it is to put these together if you were to order one from Amazon. So gotta read the directions, right? Not a guy. But first, all you got to do is kind of figure out which pole goes where and then just kind of string it together. I am a big fan of tier trays, and I have quite a few of them. In my home, I usually have 2 or 3 at one time, and this one's great because it fits like it fits on my like entryway table next to my front door, and it is one of my favorites. I have kind of the same exact shape in white that I like to keep in my kitchen as well. So you just put the net on the bottom, and that's all there is to it. Now you have a really cute little tier tray to get you started. So I'm going to use this twice today, and we're going to do lots of patriotic DIYs. Now, the first tier tray is going to be kind of a coastal or nautical 4th of July theme. And so I kind of want to do like a red, white, and blue, kind of more traditional colors, maybe even more like a red, white, and navy. But I always like to do a cute little floral arrangement, and these little metal buckets from the Dollar Tree are always perfect. This one is just, looks like a flag, right? But I kind of want to give it that coastal farmhouse vibe. So I am just lightly distressing all over the little metal bucket with a little ivory acrylic paint and just using a chunky brush, wiping off any excess. I don't want to like cover up like the pattern of the flag on there. I just want it to look a little bit rustic. And I kind of thought one of these wired jute cords would make like a better handle than what was on there before. It was like a blue ribbon. And I thought this would work perfectly because this already has like the wire inside the jute. It's going to kind of make it look a little bit coastal. So this is just a quick, easy DIY for your tier tray. We're going to do a total of 3 patriotic tier trays today to get you inspired for your 4th of July tier tray. 4th of July tier trays, I've been doing them for a couple of years. I am a huge fan of them. I know some people are just starting to do them, and I have tons of tier tray videos on my channel. I've got a whole playlist, so you'll have to check them out. I've got lots of great ideas. Now, that green foam that you saw there from the Dollar Tree fits perfectly in these little metal buckets. You just push it in there, but I don't want you to be able to see like that green foam. So we're just going to cover the top of it with some Dollar Tree Spanish moss. That's going to look coastal and fun, and it's going to cover it up. Now, I didn't want to do like coastal tropical, but I wanted it to look coastal. At first, I was going to do like an ivory flower, but it just didn't seem like it was going to be my thing. So I thought succulents would be fun because it's going to be kind of coastal, right? Kind of unexpected. So I'm just going to use 3 of these little succulents from the Dollar Tree. I kind of like just picked 3 different colors to give a little bit of variety. And I think that green one actually came out of a pot. Sometimes they're in pots, sometimes they're stems. But I'm just pushing all 3 of the succulents down inside the flag. And I love how that turned out because I think it definitely looks like something that you would see around here with the succulents. Okay, next DIY. I love these signs from the Dollar Tree because they're so easy to remake. They have like the wood background with a little sign on top. And I am just going to cover that up. It can be a little challenging to cover the writing on that sign up top. So that's why I'm using chalk paint and kind of wanted to go with like more of a warm color. And so that's why I picked cashew. It's kind of like the color of sand almost, right? And I am just going to paint that top sign. And I thought we could do a quick, easy little tier tray sign with some window decals from the Dollar Tree. Now, even with chalk paint, I found that you could still see the writing through there with one coat. So it's definitely going to require 2. I'm also going to rough it up a little bit with a little sanding sponge once I get it painted. Because again, we're going for that rustic coastal farmhouse vibe, right? And check out this cute little decal. I think that is going to be perfect. It's going to kind of go with the color scheme that I have. And I think it's going to fit perfectly on this sign if I were to stand it straight up. So I just do a thin layer of Mod Podge on my sign, peel off the window cling, and just lay it right on top. The colors are kind of perfect for what I'm going today. It says Land of the Free because of the brave. And I get it on there, smooth it out, and just give that a quick dry. You guys know I love making things with window clings, but small signs, it is perfect because you don't have to get your Cricut out. You don't have to print anything out. You can kind of find the vibe you're going for and make it work. So as you saw, I just Mod Podged once more on top to make sure that it stays down. Then I wanted, a little bit of a coastal touch. I love to use starfish for 4th of July because, of course, they're stars. So it's automatically going to give us that coastal feel. I get these little ones like this on Amazon, and these are available in my shop below as well. Sometimes they're all tiny when they come in, and sometimes they have like a variety of sizes. I chose like 2 of the medium ones, and I thought we would just kind of hot glue 1 in each corner on opposite corners, kind of like that, just securing those on there with a little dot of hot glue. And the color goes perfectly with like the sign, so it kind of blends in. So I thought if I just use a tiny brush and some white acrylic, I can make them stand out a little bit. And I also just distress the whole thing with some of that white as well, or the ivory, just to kind of, give it that coastal farmhouse vibe. Otherwise, I thought that, the little starfish were just going to fade in. You weren't going to be able to see them. And I always like to distress over the window decals because it's going to kind of make it look more like a hand-painted sign in the end and kind of take away some of that glossiness, anything that's left over. And the Mod Podge I use is always like matte too because that helps keep the shine down. Okay, next DIY, I'm going to use a wood house from the Crafter Square at Dollar Tree. One of those little spring bags that I think looks like seagrass, right? And I thought we would just cover the house, make like a little patriotic seagrass house, if you will. So I kind of had this idea in my mind, didn't know if it would really work, but I love how it turned out. So I just cut half the bag off, and it gave me a great sheet of seagrass. I just lay the house right on top, and then just use an ink pen to sketch out exactly where I need to go in and cut. Now, I think it's going to be fine with like just the raw wood behind the seagrass, like that. And so basically it's just a matter of attaching that. And then I also want to decorate that with the starfish. We're going to use a Dollar Tree Shore Living starfish. Now, I thought I want stripes. And this just happens to have the rose of the purse. And I am just using my red paint pen. Super easy way just to give it some red stripes. I am just painting every other row of the seagrass red. We're going to leave it like red and like tan like that. And I think that's going to look super patriotic, but also a little bit coastal, right? So I'm just going to use hot glue to attach that. I don't think you're really going to be able to see that through it because it's such a thick material. And just smooth that down. And I wanted to tell you guys, keep checking your stores for Shore Living. I just left a Dollar Tree, a small Dollar Tree that was out of everything Shore Living the last time I was there, and I found a ton of starfish, sand dollars, tablecloths, signs, all kinds of stuff. Like, I was shocked, honestly. And I never think I have enough starfish and sand dollars, and I use them year round. So I made sure to stock up on some more of these. Love them. They're plastic, but they look really cool because they have a great texture on there. And I just attached it to the front of the house with a little bit of hot glue. And we have a little patriotic house for a tier tray. Isn't that simple yet cute? I love that. Okay, the next item we're going to use for the tier tray is one of these little anchors from the Shore Living line. Mine happen to be white. They do come in different colors. They come in like navy and red and stuff like that. And I really wanted mine to be like blue or navy. This is kind of almost like a royal blue color of acrylic paint. And I'm just going to paint all over. As you can see, even though like it's like Dollar Tree, it's got that like great wood texture that makes it look like it's made out of real wood, even though like it totally isn't. And I just use a brush to make it blue because that way I can kind of get down in between all of the grooves on that texture, right? Now, I usually like my anchors to have some kind of a rope or something, and I'm actually going to use one of these little wood bead garlands. I picked that up at Target Dollar Spot. It is a tiered tray starter kit, but you know, they have something very similar this year at Dollar Tree as well that would work really well, or you could kind of make your own with some of the Dollar Tree wood beads. I thought that would be fun to kind of string that along the top. It's got a little star on the end that's white. That's going to be a nice contrast, but I think it looks a little bit coastal, right? So I just tie that around like the hanger so it'll kind of like just dangle down in front of the anchor. And I did pick a Target Dollar Spot tier tray kit up last year, so I haven't seen any 4th of July tier tray kits yet at Dollar Tree, so I'm curious what they're going to have this year. I love those tier tray starter kits because they're always a great deal. Now, I do want it to stand up because I don't really have anything to lean it on my tier tray, so I'm just going to make a quick, easy little stand with some of those Dollar Tree like little Jenga blocks. I glue 3 of them together, kind of just to make a little base, just enough to make it stand up, but I also don't want it to be like where it'll tip over. So that is a cute little coastal anchor, if you will. Now to continue on with this tier tray starter kit, this is just like stacked books and it's super easy. Like, I think it was kind of meant to be like more rustic, and I kind of want to make it rustic, but I also want to make it coastal. So you could always use one of those from the Dollar Tree if you can't find one of these, or there's so many book stack options nowadays, and you can kind of paint it and stain it like this as well. I'm going to use another one of the Dollar Tree window decals. They're so cute. And I thought these 3 little mini signs were going to be a great time saver because I can just trim these down into 3 little decals. And that will make 3 book covers. They're kind of shaped just perfectly to be book covers. And they say bright stars, bold stripes, brave hearts. The colors are perfect for what I'm going with today. And so it's just a matter of attaching those to my wood book stack. I always love a wood book stack on a tier tray. And this one is going to be just the right size. So I do a thin layer of Mod Podge and just peel off my decals and lay them right on there. And as you can see, there's also like little stars on the sides of the book. So super cute. And then once you get them on there, it's always a good idea to Mod Podge over the top of them as well. But you might need to give them a dry first so it doesn't kind of move around too much. Now to make them look like a tied book stack, I'm going to use some Dollar Tree twine, and I'm just going to wrap that around a couple of times and tie that off like it's a stack of books all tied together. Super easy. And then, of course, I want a little coastal touch. I'm going to use one of these little plastic starfish. I get these on Amazon as well. They're molded. They're plastic, kind of like the ones from Dollar Tree, but they're a lot smaller. And I wanted mine to be red. So they're white, these, and I just paint mine red with some bright red acrylic paint. I also buy these, you'll see in my Amazon shop, in like a teal color. I think they're so cute and they're so easy to craft with. But you know, they also have like the starfish clothespins and stuff like that this year at Dollar Tree. You can always use something like that too, or some of the little grow animals. I think they might be a starfish in those as well. That might be pretty equivalent from the Dollar Tree. And that is how it turned out. Towards the end of this first tier tray, you'll see how I put everything together. But remember, we've got 3 tier trays today. I want you guys to have lots of patriotic inspiration. Okay, this was the last piece that was in that tier tray starter kit, and it's just a small sign with just a wood stained star on there. And I thought I would use another one of those little plastic molded starfish just on top to give that coastal touch. And no direction really fit like the way that was going. So I just glue it on there. And then I wanted to have a blue touch to it. It seemed a little plain for my tier tray. So I'm just using this pretty royal blue color, and I am just carefully painting the top part of this, that blue color. So we'll have like the blue, the white, and the different like stains of wood. And I think that looks really cute. It was so easy to put together. Now, this is from the Shore Living line at Dollar Tree. These are those little door pillows, and this is the starfish one. I thought this would be perfect for a tier tray because they're always fun to use on tier trays, and I never hang these on doors, so I really have no other use for them besides tier trays. So I just cut the little hanger off and the tags, and it leaves me with the cutest little starfish pillow, which is just the right size for a tier tray, and the colors are perfect for the 4th of July. Now, this is from the Shore Living line as well. This is a garden stake with like an oar, an arrow, a little life buoy on there. But it's just a matter of taking the stake off the back. Don't know if I saw these this year. They seem to have come out with a lot of new yard stakes with the Shore Living line this year. But I thought this would just be a fun item to attach to the top of my tier tray. And the colors are kind of just perfect, right? We've got our red, white, and blue. So it's just a matter of finding a way to kind of tie this on. And I'm just going to do that by putting some Dollar Tree twine on the back, hot gluing that on. I'm trying to think what would be cute. The ones this year that I saw that might be really cute, they have like a navy and white sailboat. I think that would look really good too at the top of a tier tray. Now, these are also from the Dollar Tree. Oh no, Dollar Spot at Target, but they have very similar ones at Dollar Tree. These have like kind of a prettier wood finish on them, but it doesn't really matter because we're going to kind of cover that up anyway. I got this great blue star fabric at the Dollar Tree that looks just like flag stars. So I'm just going to lay my little chunky wood star on top and use an ink pen to sketch that out. And we can have a cute little star for our tier tray. The colors are perfect, and I love this fabric. It's so cute. I always have to look at the fabric whenever I see it at Dollar Tree because you can find some real gems like this one. But it's kind of going with my, more traditional color, red, white, and blue. I'm not doing the turquoise on this one. And I'm just going to attach it with a rather thick layer of Mod Podge since it is fabric all over the front of the wood star. And this wood star, being from Target Dollar Spot, you could always use the ones from Dollar Tree, pretty much exactly the same size. So I'm just cleaning up any excess glue that may have eased out. And then you're going to want to trim it up a little bit too if it's not cut perfectly. But the other one I thought I would just leave wood, but I did want it to have a coastal touch. And so I'm going to use one of these little fairy garden crabs from the Dollar Tree. and just glue that on one of the stars just for fun. A little red hermit crab kind of hanging out on the star, and I think that's going to look cute. Now, this is a sign that I got like half price at Goodwill, so it was like 50 cents, but you can use whatever you've got. I always get these signs like on clearance at Target Dollar Spot. The real small ones like this, I really love that size. And so I'm just going to cover up whatever was on there. It was like a bear with some ivory acrylic and maybe a couple coats so that you can't see through there anymore. I needed like another 4th of July sign for this tier tray, something small. And we're going to Mod Podge on another window cling. This one is square, and so is this one that says, I love USA, super patriotic. The colors are perfect, and it looks great on that ivory background like that. So I just smooth it on, go over it with another coat of Mod Podge, dry it, and give it a light distress with a little bit of ivory. Maybe not that much. You have to be careful when you're wiping off any excess though, because you can accidentally wipe off some of your Mod Podge. But this is how it looks so far, but I thought we could make it look a little bit coastal too. This is also from the Shore Living line. This is the little red lobster. He's so cute. He's got like little pincers, and I'm gonna glue him right on top, just kind of like overhanging the side of our sign. And then I'm going to use one of these little Dollar Tree American flag cake toppers. They're like on toothpicks. And look, it's just his size. And I thought his pincers would be perfect to hold an American flag. It's totally going to give that coastal vibe. So I just trim my toothpick up a little and a little dot of hot glue to secure that inside his little pincers, and we have a little patriotic lobster now. I love little touches like this on a tier tray because tier trays are so cute. People like to really study them, and when they see a little fun detail like that, it always makes them smile. Now, this is from Dollar Tree. It's actually from like the automotive department, and that's right, it is just an air freshener for your car. But it's a really cute little American flag, and I thought, well, that would be a cute decoration. So I have another sign. I have no idea. I think this was a Target Dollar Spot sign that I DIY'd before because it looks like it's already painted, has a little glue on it. But that's okay. We can make it something again. I like to try to recycle my signs if I'm not going to use them again, especially this little tiny size like this because they're just perfect. They'll fit pretty much wherever on a tier tray. And so I just painted mine ivory. And then going over it with a coat of matte Mod Podge, I decided to go a little bit thicker because this is kind of like a cardboard thickness, this air freshener. And win-win, it'll also act as an air freshener, right? And make my room smell good. So I just glued that straight onto the sign. It was almost a perfect size to fit on here. And then, you know, I have to make it look a little bit coastal, right? So I go in with a little ivory paint and a chunky brush, and we're just going to distress, working in one direction. And look at this cute little sign that we made with an air freshener from the Dollar Tree. Okay, so you saw me use these little cupcake picks before, and I thought this would be a really cute way just to make a really simple little banner for the tier tray. And so these little flags are like made out of paper, but they're still super cute. So I'm just going to cut the toothpicks off of all of them. And I just need a small like mini pennant banner to go across the front of my tier tray. And so I just attached them with hot glue. I didn't think I would really be able to string through them, but I just glue them right on top of the twine like that. And this is just some of that like brown and white twine. It might be Shore Living, I'm not sure. I like to try to pick up a variety, but you could do it with any twine. It's just a really simple little pennant banner. And whenever you're hanging your flags, be sure to hang like the star part to the top and to the left. That's the proper way to hang your flag. And that is how it turned out. It's super easy and super cute. And you guys know I love this ribbon. I think it looks like fishnet. It's a mesh ribbon from the Dollar Tree in tan. And I think that's going to be really cute on here as well to go with the coastal theme. So here's the tier tray you saw me build. We have our coast at the top, that metal stake decoration. I attached the flag banner to the front, and now we're going to style this first tier tray for 4th of July. So I like to use some wood blocks to try to make things taller, which is what I did with this little starfish sign in the back. I just placed one right underneath it, and then blue on one side. Let's do like red and white stripes on the other. Our little seagrass house with the starfish. I just love that. And then our little star, chunky star there right in front. We've got like that star stripe combination. And then maybe like the little book stack right over here on this side. And we're already on the bottom tier. Now this is just a plank sign. I'm using this to help this pillow stand up because I really didn't have anywhere for the pillow except for the back. And it's not going to have anything to lean back against. So that's going to help it stay up. And it provided great height there at the bottom of my tier tray. And we have our little succulents and our little American flag 10 bucket, which I love. Our little land of the free sign that we made with a few starfish on there as well. And so like everything, you know, kind of has a little bit of a coastal farmhouse vibe, especially with like the crab on this one and the lobster on the other one. And I just kind of like put the shorter items in front, the larger items in back so you can see everything. And then for a little filler, maybe some more of this mesh ribbon because it really gives you that fun like fishnet feel. I love that stuff. And I like the tan one. It's my favorite. Sometimes I use the white one as well. Maybe I'll put a piece like right over here as well, just to kind of fill up any gaps once I finish decorating this. And here is our little blue anchor. I left it with a little bit of the white showing through to kind of make it look distressed. And our little I Love USA sign with our little patriotic lobster. I think he's so cute. He's one of my favorite pieces. And this is how the first patriotic tier tray turned out. So it's kind of a coastal 4th of July tier tray vibe, kind of nautical because it's got like a little bit more of like the darker blues and navies in there. But I think it turned out super fun and super cute. And hopefully it gave you a little bit of inspiration for your 4th of July tier tray. But don't go anywhere because we have 2 other complete patriotic tier trays to give you lots more ideas. I have a traditional one and kind of a classic coastal vibe one. So I love how this turned out. I think all of these pieces work really well together. And I love using materials from the Dollar Tree like the fabrics, the purses, stuff like that. You can really make things look special and so easy. Last year I kind of did like this red, white, and navy theme. And so when I was putting it together, you could kind of see like the look I was going for. And I think this matched it perfectly. So tier tray number 1, my first patriotic tier tray, but I wanted to take a quick moment to tell you about my Facebook group. I always have it linked below. You guys should join us over on Facebook. Everyone is so creative in this group. You're going to love it. I also have a Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest. And my handle is Crafty Beach on YouTube. And I try to remember to post. I haven't been great lately. Okay, next tier tray. Are you ready? Now, I told you could use one of these little wood crates from the Dollar Tree to do a book stack. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to make our own from scratch. So I'm using ivory chalk paint. It doesn't matter if it's chalk paint or not. This is so easy to paint because it's just raw wood. And basically, if you put the little crate upside down, it's going to look like a stack of books. It's already got like the sides that look like 3 books, right? And so I just want to give it a nice ivory background to get us started. This tier tray is going to be very traditional, very red, white, and blue, lots of flags, lots of fireworks and fun, and is one of my most popular tier tray DIY videos that I've ever done. Now, the top, I paint the left side with blue. So it's like ocean chalk paint is the shade that I used. And I did like 2/3 of it in blue like that. And then I just kind of give it a quick dry, and then we'll tape like right on top of it so we can do the other side of the flag. I want the top of this book stack to look like the American flag. So I just tape right on top of the blue that I just painted. I did have to update the ivory because there was a tiny bit of bleeding. And then using painter's tape, I am just taping off stripes. I do 3 on mine, and we can do some flag stripes. So I'm using the color crimson, just a bright red, also chalk paint, but you could totally use acrylics. I used to use chalk paints all the time, but I found that they were a little bit expensive and not always worth the extra money. And you can always make your own chalk paint as well by adding some calcium carbonate. So time to peel off all the tape. This is what we have so far. And then I also want like the book stacks to continue that like red and white stripes like the American flag. So I use painter's tape to tape off the middle book. And then I want it to look like separate books. So I just used an ink pen to kind of go in that groove just to make it a little bit darker. And then went in with that same crimson red to paint the top book and the bottom book red. And so it's going to continue that like red and white stripe pattern from the top of the book stack. Super fun. I always love making a book stack video, and if you make one from scratch like this, you can make it any way you want. So I'm going to do the same thing on the back because this is a tier tray, so you're going to be able to see it from different directions. You're going to want your books to look complete, right? So I do a red stripe. As you can see, I did white stripes on the sides and the top, so I can continue that. First book would be red to continue that red and white stripe all the way down on both sides. Now for the star pattern, you could always use your Cricut. I'm just going to use a white paint pen, and we're just going to draw on some simple stars. If you use a paint pen like this, by the time you do the star shape, it kind of fills in the middle. So super easy, and I just kind of alternate how many stars I think will kind of fit in there. And then I want that book stack to kind of go all the way around the sides. So I tape off the sides where that would be like a part of the book, and then paint that red as well to continue that red and white stripe pattern all the way around. It can be a little tricky around the little handle parts. I'm just going to kind of ignore those parts and pretend like they're not there. And you're still going to get that book stack vibe, I think. So we also have to do the fourth side, taping off the middle that was already ivory and painting the top and bottom book red. And I love this book stack. It is one of the favorite ones that I've made. It's just so cute. And it was really kind of easy to put together. Just a little bit of painting here. Now I did use my Cricut for this next part, but you could totally use paint pens if you wanted, but I wanted a super cute little font. So I just went in and did one in stripes, one in stars, with just a cursive font, which can make it a little bit challenging to weed out. But I think we've got it. And one of those can be the title for one of the red books, and the other one will be the title for the other red book. I love this paper, transfer paper that I get on Amazon. I always have that linked in my store below. It's my favorite. So I'm going to do stars on top, stripes on the bottom like that. And I can't use white for the middle book because it's a white book. So I switched to some red vinyl, and then I just did like a cursive and. So it's just going to be a cute little book stack that says stars and stripes. And you can get creative if you don't have a Cricut. There are lots of other options you can use to label these. But I think that looks really cute so far. Now I do want them to look like a tied book stack, so I'm using some Dollar Tree twine, and I'm going to go around there quite a few times and then just tie it off here on the top with maybe a quick little bow as well. And then I found these are actually like little charms to go on your bicycle tires. I got these at the Target dollar spots, but basically they're just plastic red and blue stars, and I thought they'd be cute for little details like this. They're supposed to snap on to like the spokes in your bike, so they kind of already have little clips on the back. So I kind of take advantage of that and just put like the twine right in the middle. But you could always use whatever you have. I just thought a little star touch at the end of the twine is going to give it like a little bit of a patriotic vibe. But I wasn't so sure it would stay put, so I do go in and add a little hot glue on those and let that dry so we have some little stars hanging down the front of our little book stack. Isn't it cute? I love how that turned out. Okay, next DIY, I want to make a cute little patriotic sign, and we are going to use a paper plate. They always have the cutest paper plates at Dollar Tree. So I thought this little decorative wood block sign from the Dollar Tree would be a perfect size for a tier tray. And I just traced that out with an ink pen right on top of the paper plate, and then just go in and cut out that great decorative shape. Isn't it cute? It's just a little red truck with an American flag in the back. It says 1776 on the door. Very classic, very Americana, right? Now, I didn't want the back and the sides to look like just raw wood. I want it to look like a finished project. So I'm using some of that crimson red acrylic, and I'm going to carefully paint my sides here all around. And then I also go on the back to give it a red back, just because, again, tier tray, you do kind of have to worry about your backs on these because you're going to be able to see this probably from more than one direction. Now it's just as easy as the decals. This paper plate, we're just going to use some Mod Podge all over our wood block and glue it down. I like to DIY with like Dollar Tree seasonal napkins, but I always try to keep my eye on paper plates and stuff as well. You have to make sure, though, that like whatever image it is going to be something inside like the structure of the plate. Otherwise, it gets kind of complicated cutting it out. But this was just the right size for a little patriotic sign, I think. Once I get it Mod Podged on, I make sure it's smooth and then go over it with another coat of Mod Podge to finish this off. And there it is, a quick little red truck sign. This is probably one of my favorite DIYs I've done for 4th of July. I got this little United States map, I guess. It's like a kid coloring thing from a Dollar Tree in their 4th of July section. And we're going to stain the wood instead of using the markers with antique wax by Waverly to make this look pretty and high-end. And then I'm going to wipe off the excess with just a paper towel to kind of give me like a medium stain on that. Look how cute that little kid's decoration is. Now, I wasn't sure if I was just going to leave it like this or attach it to something. I do end up attaching it to something, but I got some of the antique wax on the back, so I did just go ahead and stain the back as well in case I was just going to leave it like that. Now, I want to personalize this, and, it's your own thing, so personalize it your own way. I thought it would be really cute to color in the states that we have lived in as a family. And so my husband and I got married. We lived in Pennsylvania, and we lived in Missouri. We met in Missouri. We're both from Missouri. And we actually moved back there when my son was born. And then now we live in gorgeous, warm, sunny Florida. So those are the 3 states we've lived in as a family. So I just went in with a white paint pen and colored those in. Now, I did have to go over it with a couple of coats just to make sure that it covered up that darker stain. Then I thought it would be even cuter to take some of these like little stickers from the Dollar Tree, these little star stickers, and actually put like the locations kind of on the map where we lived. So we lived in Philadelphia. We lived in a couple places in Missouri, but I'm just going to pick one. We live on the coast in Florida, and then we lived in Columbia, Missouri. And so that's right in the center. So I just add a little star everywhere we lived. So just a fun personal touch. You can always do this with wherever your family has lived, or if you've only lived in one state, you can only color one state. Now, I did decide I wanted it to be on a sign. So I'm going to use one of these bamboo cutting boards from the Dollar Tree and give it a coat of ivory chalk paint all over the front, covering up the bamboo, a couple coats, and the sides. I thought it would be really cute if we did maybe like the red and white flag stripes behind that It's going to give it something to attach to and make a cute little sign for the tier tray. And this piece was kind of the star of the show. So I used that crimson red, bright red chalk paint and go over after just taping down my stripes with some painter's tape. And I go over it with a couple coats because I want it to be like a bright red and white stripe. And I just peel off all my painter's tape. Doesn't that look cool? I thought that would be a fun background for that, and it's just the right size. I had originally painted the sides white, but I kind of thought they needed to be red. So I did paint the sides red as well. And then I just hot glue that little wood USA map right on the front of this cutting board. And look how cute that looks. It's kind of big for a tier tray, but we're going to kind of sit it on top, and it kind of worked. It's going to be the star of the show. We're using the same tier tray that we used in the first video, that rectangular one. But look how cute that is. Okay, now this is not really a DIY because I don't have to do anything to it. These are those cheap sparklers that they sell at the Dollar Tree, but look how cute the box is. It's sparklers, perfect for 4th of July, right? It's got the flag on it, so we're just gonna put the whole box on there. Win-win, right? Okay, we have another patriotic DIY. I'm gonna use a little metal, galvanized metal arrow that I got at Dollar Tree and some of this like paper pennant banner. It's got like this great red and white star pattern, also a blue and white star pattern. And I thought we would make this little arrow from the Dollar Tree look like a firework. And so I just cut the top part, like that little triangular at the top, with like the red and white star paper. This is a great, you know, Dollar Tree doesn't really have any scrapbook paper. So these paper banners like this make a great substitute. I'm going to use the blue and white star and just cut out a rectangle to cover the rest of the arrow. And if you can't find the galvanized metal one, you can always do this with the wooden ones that they always have at the Crafter Square at Dollar Tree. Super cute little rocket for a 4th of July. And so easy to make. I'm just going to simply Mod Podge this on. I like to Mod Podge on the galvanized metal, different fabrics and papers and stuff like this. I find it's a great way to use those because I don't find that they paint the best. So I just Mod Podge the blue part down first, smooth it out, and then Mod Podge down the red. And look how cute that is, and so easy to put together. It's not too big, so I think it's going to be a great size for the tier tray. But I kind of want to make it like stand up as well. So I do try to make a little bit of a base for it. I also trim off any excess paper that might be sticking over the edges. Just going to make sure that my Mod Podge is dry, and then I thought I'd better seal it. So I'm going to go over the top of it with a little bit more matte Mod Podge and make sure it stays put. Now, I kind of want it like pointing off to the side. And so I thought we'd use some of those little Jenga blocks from the Dollar Tree and maybe glue some of them together and see if we can make like some kind of a stand that's going to make it kind of, you know, stand up like that. Like it's a firework like shooting off into the sky. And so I just kind of glue them on there like that. Now, it wasn't real stable and it wasn't heavy enough. I didn't think it was going to stand up very good. So I do go in here with a couple more to kind of brace that, make those kind of go straight up. And it does stand up, but it's still not like super stable. I was afraid it was going to tip over all the time. You might need to use a bigger block back there. But I thought I would just put some Dollar Tree double stick tape on the bottom and I can just make sure it doesn't tip over. Okay, the next DIY, I actually got this little patriotic gnome at Dollar General. He was like $3.50. He's so cute. He looks like Uncle Sam. You could totally do this with the Dollar Tree ones though, because they have the cutest patriotic gnomes this year. But I kind of want him to hold a flag. I like his hat. So I just cut out some more of that window decal from Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to glue that flag onto a toothpick. It's going to make a little tiny flag for our little gnome to hold in his little hand. And These are so cute. The one I got this year from the Dollar Tree, I don't think it has like an Uncle Sam shaped hat like this. I think it has more of a gnome hat, but still super cute. So don't forget about Dollar General. Sometimes they have some really cute seasonal pieces as well. You do have to kind of let the glue dry if you're going to put a little flag in his hand, but I think he turned out cute and easy. Okay, this is the Dollar Tree wood block. Remember when I said that Dollar Tree had pretty much the equivalent that I was using before? I'm just going to cover it with one of these little bandanas from the Dollar Tree. I just kind of drew it on there. Even though it was a dark color, I can still kind of see where my lines are from the star and just use my scissors to cut that. I thought this would be a really fun pattern to cover one of those little chunky stars because it looks like fireworks, right? And you can always find like the scarves or the bandanas like that. They seem to have those for every season at Dollar Tree. And I just Mod Podged that fabric right to the front of our tier tray. And I think I used these like wood stars on like every tier tray today because they're so great. They're the perfect size for a tier tray. Okay, up next, this is from Dollar Tree. It is a little American flag fan. Look how cute that is. I don't think it needs anything. We're going to use it as is. Okay, if the USA flag was my favorite DIY, this was probably my second favorite patriotic DIY we're doing today. I want to make fireworks. So I got one of these little dusters from the Dollar Tree with the blue and white strings. And I thought, oh, I'll just break it like in half kind of and use the top of it like a fireworks like exploding in the sky. But holy moly, I tried just about everything on this. This is like the toughest duster ever. If you want like a duster that's never gonna break, buy one of these. As you can see, I tried metal scissors, I tried wire nippers, I tried like a saw, I tried wire nippers again. Usually like the Dollar Tree metal things like that are not that difficult, but man, I really struggled with that. Okay, so I got like a pom-pom off on the end, which is what I wanted. And I'm going to use another one of those American flag buckets for this DIY, but I'm going to leave it just traditional flag colored. And one of these little green foam blocks again. I don't want to see the top of the green, so I thought I would just paint it blue. That way I don't really have to cover it with anything. And that is going to match in with the inside of the bucket already. Now I need to attach a dowel to the duster ball there. So I'm just going to use some dowels from the Dollar Tree and I'm going to stain them with a little bit of antique wax by Waverly before I go ahead and put it together. It's just going to make it look a little bit more finished, I think, than the raw wood. And then I just need to find a way to attach this duster that did not want to be trimmed down to it. I thought it was going to be a little difficult, so I decided to try to use a little wire too. And I just go ahead and put our foam inside the metal bucket now that it had some time for the paint to dry, and we can start putting together this little firework. I don't know why I'm so off screen. I was filming this with my phone instead of my camera. Maybe that's why. But I glued it to the tip of the dowel. And then I thought I would further reinforce it. There we go. I paid attention. With a little wire that I got at Dollar Tree just to make it a little bit stronger. And wrap that around. That's going to be like our tallest firework in this little display, and we're going to display this on top. So we've got plenty of room to go high, and I want it to look like exploding fireworks for the 4th of July. So that's our first one. My first idea was just the blue and white duster from Dollar Tree. I'm going to stab that down into our blue foam. Maybe a little hot glue to help it stay in place. And then I wanted to add like 2 more fireworks, kind of like one on each side of this. But even though that was really hard to cut, it really turned out really cute. So I'm going to use 2 more dowels. I'm going to go ahead and stain them first with some antique wax by Waverly. And then I thought we could make more fireworks with some of those like pom-pom bows. I picked up a couple different kinds, both in blue, and one set is from the Dollar Tree and one set was from Target. They had different styles, so I thought we would see. I kind of wanted a variety too. And so I'm just going to go ahead and trim these dowels down a little bit, maybe like different heights. Now, these were the bows from Dollar Tree. So as you can see, the ones off to the left are the ones from Target. They're a little bit different, but you could totally do this with just ones from the Dollar Tree. I think they actually worked better. So what I'm going to do is peel the backing off of the sticker, and then I just want to sandwich the dowel in between the two bows, and it's going to make a big, like, exploding a firework look, right? I also use a little hot glue to make sure that it's going to stay together, and then I just push the two insides of the bows together, and it gave me this perfect, like, round shape. Had something weird kind of sticking out of it, but look at that, so cute. Kind of put this one over on this side, this fireworks exploding over here. And then these were the ones that I got at Target. So these were probably the most expensive ones. They were actually a little bit harder. I think it's because they had like a bigger, like little plastic piece like that. So when I glued them together, I found that you could still kind of see the paper, and it didn't give me that perfect round shape. So I go in first and I'm trying to like trim that into a circle, but all of that trimming kind of made it just fall apart. So I'm just gonna go ahead and trim that down as small as I can get it, and then try again. So a little bit of hot glue, sandwich the dowel right in between the two bows like that. And this is kind of more of an iridescent blue sparkle, but still super cute for another firework sticking out the other side of our little American flag bucket. I got really creative on this one, and I just love how they turned out. I did have to arrange them a little bit height-wise to kind of make them sit okay. And I also used a little hot glue to make sure they stayed in place. And I can't wait for you to see how it looks on the tier tray. Now, these are little string lights that I got at the Target dollar spot. Just red, white, and blue little string stars that are going to light up. So I thought that might be a fun touch for a patriotic tier tray, because it's kind of a nighttime holiday with lots of lights and stuff like that. And I think the colors on these are perfect. So just have to add some batteries to this. And we have another, this is going to work great because this can kind of be like a little bit of a filler, but it can also be something that lights up the tier tray and decorates it. And of course I had to test it out, right? Okay, some more wood block stars. I told you I love these things for 4th of July, and these were ones from the Dollar Tree that I thought I would get creative and try maybe a different technique on them. So I'm going to try some sublimation on this, and I just kind of had to fill in the little hole because there's not going to be anything to cover that up. So I just use a little spackle from the Dollar Tree to cover that up. And sublimation is something where if you have a printer set up for sublimation, you can print out images onto sublimation paper with sublimation ink, heat it up, and transfer it. I was kind of testing it to see if it would work on just plain wood without having to add anything to it, and it actually turned out pretty good. And if you've seen one of my patriotic videos so far this year, you have probably seen this already. But I do use these on the tier tray, so I'm just including kind of a little sped up version of it. I just cut out this blue and white star pattern for one of the stars. I go in and use my Cricut Easy Press at 400 degrees for 1 minute to put the blue and white stripes on this one. And the tape you see me using is just heat resistant tape to make sure that the color does not bleed down the sides. That's one thing you have to kind of worry about when you're sublimating. So I tape off the second star, and for this one I just did a red stripe pattern, and then the white stripes, you can't really sublimate white. You could only add color, and so it's going to kind of be like, you know, just the natural wood for those. But that was the blue and white stars, and then this one is the red and white stripe. Super cute. I always like to try to bring out the color, so I'm just using a little clear acrylic spray paint. just to kind of bring out the colors. As you can see, it did deepen the colors a little bit. The star one did not sublimate perfectly, but I think it did pretty good considering the fact that I just used it on raw wood and I didn't treat it with any kind of sublimation coating or anything. But I think they're cute and I think they're going to be great on this tier tray. Okay, another DIY. This is one of those little envelope signs from the Dollar Tree with a little star on top. It's also got like a star border around the side. And I just popped off the wood star that was on front, and we're gonna make this look patriotic for 4th of July. So I am just painting this red crimson, and it does require several coats to cover up the writing that's on there. Probably should have painted it white first. And if you saw, I don't know if it was the same video, you might have seen this one already too, but again, I'm gonna use this one on this tier tray, so I'm just including a sped up version here as well, so you'll see all of the pieces. So I painted the back sign ivory, and just going over that with ivory chalk paint, and that star, again, I painted red about 3 or 4 times because I had a hard time covering up the writing that was on there before. I also wanted to look kind of a little distressed, so I go over it with some Antique Wax by Waverly, kind of wiping off the excess. That'll kind of match with like the wood sides with like the white star pattern all around the sides. And it's just screaming 4th of July. It just needed a few touches. Mainly the red color is really going to take it up a notch. So I just take off my painter's tape that was protecting the super cute sides with the stars and glue the little red star on top. And then I went to my Cricut and, you know, I probably would have just painted this on with a paint pen, but I was a newer crafter and so I wanted to use my Cricut. And I am just going to go in and cut out the skinny font on my Cricut, a word for our little red star. And I like to use the font called the Skinny. It looks very similar to a Ray Dunn font. And so that's what we're going to go for. And I like to plan my signs, so I had like another DIY there too that I cut out at the same time. Just using my favorite paper transfer paper, and we're just going to put our USA right here on the top. Cricut is great if you're not sure about your painting skills, but the USA is so simple. I think that would be really easy to paint on there with a paint pen as well. But there it is, another little sign for this tier tray. And then for wood beads, I found this great blue like bead necklace with the 4th of July decorations. And I thought this would be really cute because it would look like a big like wood bead, right? A blue one. So I'm just going to kind of cut it. There was 2 stuck together, so I just kind of cut those off. And now it kind of acts like a wood bead garland and less like a necklace. Okay, are you ready to put this patriotic tier tray together? Hopefully you got lots of good ideas from this one as well. But don't go anywhere. We still have one more patriotic 4th of July DIY for a tier tray as well. And so I kind of want to string this all around on my tier tray, top tier, bottom tier, kind of like you would do with like wood beads and stuff like that. That way I can kind of use it as filler, as decoration, kind of looping it through the top of that tier tray. And I'm going to display this here on my entryway. It's just the right size tier tray to fit right on there. And it doesn't fall over the edges at all. So I just kind of scatter those out, turn them on, because of course we want them to look festive. And here is that little patriotic flag that I showed you. I thought this would be a great dose of color, and all you have to do is open it up. So I open it up, and I'm just going to display it right here in the back of my tier tray. It's going to give me lots of color back there. And I think it's a little fun surprise, right? Super patriotic. And you can kind of arrange it however you want it. Then look how cute the fireworks turned out. With the Dollar Tree mop and the little bows, I think it's so fun. Such a surprise, and you get that fun, firework feel, like fireworks are exploding up in the sky for 4th of July. Here is the little blue and white chunky star that we made with sublimation. I'm going to kind of display him back here on the top. And oh, my favorite, the little USA flag sign that we made with like the little kids craft from the Dollar Tree. And I thought it'd be even cuter if I strung that like light right across the front of it. Kind of that white star to kind of go with my white states. And I love the fact that we personalized it. It makes it very personal. Super cute though. And you can see this tier tray from both sides as well, where I displayed it. So you can still see the sides, even though it looks like it's kind of being covered up by that. Here's our little quick, easy USA sign that we made out of a Dollar Tree sign. I'm going to put that one right back here in the back. And then our adorable little book stack. What a star, right? I'm going to put it over here. And then, you know what? Let's just hide the battery pack right inside so that we don't have to worry about seeing that. It's kind of made to do that, right? And I kind of want that to be in front because I want everybody to see it. It's so cute. Here is our little rocket blasting off with the double-sided tape on the bottom. And I'm actually going to put that on the bottom, and it's going to fit because we kind of made it go off to the side like that. So it's going to kind of hang over the sides of the tray. And I use that double-sided tape to make sure that it is not going to tip over. It's not going to go anywhere. And it's just a way to add a little bit of height back there. And then here is our little red and white chunky star. We're going to put this kind of behind the pole, but not all the way in the back of our tier tray, kind of peeking out. And our cute little patriotic gnome holding the little USA flag that we made. It's gonna be a tight fit, but I think we can make him kind of stick out of the side like that and wave his little flag out there. He's so cute. I love making patriotic gnomes. And I had a video a couple of weeks ago with some patriotic sock gnomes if you want to make your own too. And I have him also kind of holding the lights for fun. Here is our little red truck with the flag in the back. It's a nice small sign, so we're going to kind of put that right over here where you can see it. In front of our taller gnome. And here is our little bandana, like firework star. Super cute. I kind of want to put that one right here in front. And I have a little bit of room left. So here are those sparklers. Look how cute that is. And it's functional. 4th of July, you can totally light them up and use your decorations. Okay, this is how the second one turned out. It just needs a little garland. And so this is that party necklace that I found. Big chunky blue beads. I think it's perfect, right? And I didn't have to paint any wood beads or anything. And it's just a matter of stringing it. I thought I would kind of go through the hook on the top, kind of string it down here in front of our cute little map and let it fall down into the second tier, just like I did with like the lights. We have lots of stars and stripes on this. I think this one is kind of like a really traditional Americana 4th of July tier tray. And I really hope that you got some great ideas from this one. You might want to make more than one patriotic tier tray for 4th of July. They're so fun. The map is my favorite DIY on this one, followed by the fireworks. But so many cute little ideas and pieces. So let me give you a look, show you around this tier tray. Didn't the fireworks turn out cute? I think that's a really fun idea. I'm glad I came up with that. And everywhere there's a little bit of stars and stripes, fireworks, USA. I love that book stack. The little lights too provides a nice touch because you can even light it up even at night. I'm gonna hide that wire down there a little bit, but it's so cute. And I think it really all came together well. What do you guys think? Which one's your favorite so far? The first one that we did with like the coastal nautical feel, or just pure Americana. Okay, you ready for a third one? We have a third one. Now, I like to find things that I use around my house. And I had a little seagrass basket from an old floral arrangement. I thought, why not? We have it, let's use it, right? And I love seagrass anything. Sometimes you can pick up some pieces at the Target dollar spot. Haven't really found it at Dollar Tree too much, but they do have this onion grass. And I thought that would make a really cute like seagrass display. So just using some Dollar Tree foam and the seagrass, I just kind of take apart the pieces and just stick that down in the foam. I want it to be nice and thick, a really cute little seagrass display, but a DIY. And we're also going to make it look coastal as well. Some of the pieces I kind of had to cut them down in the individual pieces, and just that foam is so soft from the Dollar Tree. You can just kind of stick the individual blades down in it and fill it up a little bit like that. And this is going to be a large tier tray. We're not doing the wooden one this time. We're going to do a big 3-tiered tray, one of the galvanized metal ones. And it's going to be like a 3-sided tier tray, or a 4-sided, I guess, tier tray. You're going to be able to see it from all sides because it's going to be in the middle of my kitchen table. Now, I didn't think it was quite full enough. And this is me taking apart like an old DIY that I had done before. But again, it's just some of the onion grass from the Dollar Tree and just sticking it down into the foam. Kind of fluffing it out, arranging it a little bit. I think that looks way fuller. Now, I don't want you to be able to see the foam in the bottom, and I kind of want to do like a white touch on this. I really want this to look very like coastal and airy, this tier tray for 4th of July. So I just use those little white rocks from the Dollar Tree, and I just fill in the rest of our little seagrass basket with that to cover that up. Then I go in with some little American flags from Dollar Tree and kind of have them sticking out of the seagrass. It provides a great little patriotic display combined with a coastal feel. I'm going to do a total of 3 of them, kind of spacing them out a little bit. 2 on one side, 1 on the other. And I think that's so cute. This could be like a DIY that you kind of can display anywhere. But I think it's going to be great for the top of our tier tray. Now, this I actually picked up at Target dollar spot. It's a little ketchup and mustard holder that looks like an Adirondack chair. Perfect for like summer barbecues, but I'm actually going to use it for my salt and pepper shaker because this tier tray is going on my kitchen table. So it's coastal and functional. Now, you might recognize this little monkey fist ball from the Dollar Tree, from the Shore Living line. I also picked up one of these little ceramic whales. It is white, also from the Dollar Tree. These are both perfect as is. I'm just going to add both of those to the tier tray as well. Now, this one's going to be a DIY. I picked up one of these little, I guess, narwhals from the Dollar Tree, and it's covered in this tinsel stuff. And I thought, you know what? We might be able to make this look like a coastal sea creature for our coastal 4th of July tier tray. So I just take all of the tinsel off of our narwhal. I'm always a little scared to redo these smaller ones like this, but it actually turned out really cute. Now, my plan originally was to take off all the tinsel on our narwhal and then cover it with Dollar Tree rope. I realized once I got all the tinsel off that the Dollar Tree rope was a little bit too big, too wide for this. And I do snip off the little narwhal tusk because I'm not necessarily going to make this a narwhal. I thought maybe like a whale or something would be cute. So I switched it up to some of this jute twine from the Dollar Tree, and it's just going to require a lot more wrapping. It's already got like the little plastic tabs on there, right? So I just wrap the tail, then go around and wrap the other side. The thicker that you do it, you can kind of cover up like the little plastic tabs that are sticking out. So you might have to go over it with another coat like that. And then lots of wrapping on this. I do have a couple problem areas that I wasn't able to wrap, and I will slow that down to show you how I kind of fixed that problem. But basically just wrapping all the way up until we get to the fins. The fins on each side is kind of what caused me some problems with wrapping it. I didn't really want to take them off, and I kind of have to just kind of work around them. So I'm also going to do those fins by just wrapping them with that same twine. We're still like on the same piece of twine. Like that. And then I kind of try to wrap the individual area like they're in the between, but it was kind of hard. So I kind of go back and forth, get a little bit of coverage started there. And then I just continue and do the other fin on the other side. And then I go all around its head over and over and over until you can't see the plastic cage. So lots of wrapping. I mean, it's easy, a little bit time consuming when you're using like the smaller twine like this, but it gave me a great string art piece. I try to go back and forth there to cover as much of it as I can in that middle part and the top of the head. And I do kind of have to glue it towards the end, try to get like more of some kind of shape here and a spiral pattern to cover up most of the head. Now this middle section was where I had issues. So I did the best that I could. I went back and forth, but as you can see, you can still see through that area. And so to fix it, I still want that same like pattern. So I'm just cutting down little pieces of the jute twine. That's just gonna cover that part, and we're just gonna glue that on. It's gonna give it the appearance that it was still wrapped, that same pattern. And to cut a whole bunch of them at once, I just kind of wrapped them around my fingers like that and cut each side. And it gave me lots of pieces. I'm gluing them all to one side first, right there at the base of the fin. Like that. And then just wrapping that over the top of our little whale and then gluing that down on the other side. And that seemed to be a great fix to kind of cover up that issue because I just could not get that covered good enough with winding with those fins there in the way. It's a little bit of problem solving here. And I want the whale to look good underneath as well. So I'm going to go in and do the same thing on the underneath of the whale, just gluing it from fin to fin. And it's not super patriotic, but it's coastal, right? And I thought it would be a fun touch on this. Now, once I did that, I do go over it with a little bit more twine, kind of going back and forth just to finish our little whale off. And it was a lot of wrapping, but I think he turned out really cute. Now, I told you I was going to use like some items from around the house, and I had another seagrass arrangement that was actually on my desk in my office, and it has a white pot. It does say hello, darling. I think I picked this up like at TJ Maxx, but I'm going to use it to my advantage. I use a little red electrical tape from the Dollar Tree, and we're just going to make stripes on this. You're not going to be able to see the back of it, so I think I'll be able to hide like the hello, darling part. But I kind of go around it a couple of times to get like a bright red stripe. I want my pot to look like, you know, red and white flag stripes, but I don't want to destroy like the writing that's already on there. So this is just a quick little DIY with some more seagrass. I kind of needed a little more on this because it was really going to go with my vibe, but I just added some flag stripes to it. So easy. And I can take that off with no damage at all. Okay, another DIY. We're on DIY whatever. We've done a lot. And I'm going to use one of these little wood signs from the Dollar Tree. This one was like one of the dog ones with like the little bump out thing. I think they're all about the same size. And I thought we could make a cute little sign. I wanted to kind of do a custom sign, something coastal, some of 4th of July. I really liked the wood frame on this one. So I thought we would just make our own thing. Now, I did design a printable for this one. Let me stop and check real quick to see if I still have this file, because I can always share it with you. It says red, white, and beach. Super cute. Hang on. Okay, I checked and I did save this, so I should be able to share this printable if you want to recreate this yourself. I just cut it down to size and I'm just putting it right in there. I thought it would be a really simple little sign. It's going to go with our red, white, and beach theme on this tier tray. And I cut it down to size. Now, it's kind of hard to cut it down to size and completely cover up the background. And I have all this extra cardstock because that's what I printed it out on my printer. So I might as well just use it, right? So I just do a layer of Mod Podge first. Then I'm going to put down a little bit of the cardstock first. I thought this would be an easier way than trying to paint that because the back doesn't really come out of these signs. And then I just pieced together a second piece. It's going to give me like a nice white background for this little DIY sign. And now you're not going to be able to see any of that dog print back there. And I just go over the top of that cardstock, which holds up really well with Mod Podge. Do a layer of Mod Podge, put our sign down that says red, white, and beach with like the little blue kind of like coastal rustic frame around it. And glue that down. One more coat of Mod Podge on top of the cardstock, and we're gonna have a really easy sign, personalized and very inexpensive to put together. Little red, white, and beach. We all love that for 4th of July. And this is like kind of like a shore vibes kind of a tier tray, I would say. So I got that glued down, gave it a nice dry. I do like to distress my signs, even when I make them like this, kind of makes them look like a hand-painted sign. So I'm going to use a chunky brush and some ivory paint and just lightly distress that, just to make it look not quite so perfect. A little bit of coastal farmhouse vibe coming in there. And hopefully you'll be able to get this printable. If you have any trouble downloading it, be sure to let me know in the comments below because sometimes Canva can be a little weird. Okay, next DIY, we're going to use just one of these little palette signs from the Dollar Tree and an American flag napkin. So the great thing about this is that you can use the rest of your napkins for the 4th of July, but it's going to make a really cute little sign. I thought that the fencing would kind of give it like a little beach fence look, right? So I'm just going to cut the napkin down to size to cover the entire like palette sign. And it's like a layered sign, so I just kind of unfold it. I only want the one square of the flag like waving in the air. And it's also different plies. So you're going to want to take the plies apart. You want it like as thin as you can get it. Because we're going to kind of make that part of the sign. So first I'm going to go over with a thin coat of Mod Podge. I like to use a thin coat when I'm using like napkins for decoupage like this. I want it to go on flat. I don't want there to be any tearing. And Dollar Tree napkins usually hold up pretty well. So I'm just going to smooth that out the best that I can. Now I'm not going to leave it like that. I do want to kind of take it a step further. So if there's any like kind of hanging over the edges, a simple way to cut that is just to use a sanding block from the Dollar Tree and sand off any extra napkin. It's going to give me the perfect cut there. But I also want it to look like the slatted board for the fencing. So I go in there with like an X-Acto blade and just cut in between the two boards each way. So 3 times. And don't worry if it tears a little bit because I'm going to follow that up with the sanding sponge to cut that off, give me a perfect cut right up against the boards. And it's going to be like a little slatted board sign, American flag. And it was so easy to DIY. Kind of reverse that, get a nice close cut on the other side with that sandpaper. Look how cute that is. I was really surprised how easy this DIY was to put together. If you don't get in there very good, you can always go in there with like a Dollar Tree fingernail file too. And just shoves right in there. You can get a perfect sand and cut of your napkin. And you know, what am I going to do next? You got it. I'm going to distress it because I want it to look a little bit coastal. It's definitely patriotic. So I just use a chunky brush and some ivory paint, working in one direction, just lightly distressing that, wiping off any excess with a baby wipe. And there it is, so cute. Now, this little seagrass basket I got at the Target dollar spot, super cheap. They do have these again this year. Check out these adorable napkins I got at TJ Maxx. How perfect. They're like red, white, and blue patriotic napkins with starfish and seashells. So this, again, is going on my kitchen table. So I want it to be functional. It has the salt and pepper shakers, and now it has napkins. And, of course, I got to use some of these little shore-living starfish, kind of to fill up any excess area in my napkin holder and for decor. The next two are kind of just coastal. I found these little succulents in sand at Dollar Tree, and I thought they'd be the perfect size for a tiered tray. Okay, another quick, easy DIY. We're going to use one of these 3D galvanized metal stars from the Crafter Square at Dollar Tree. I thought this would make a really cute sign because it's going to kind of stand on its own. It's got sides, but it was a little plain. I also got some of this felt garland at the Dollar Tree, and I thought, you know what? Maybe if I combine the two, I could get a really cute, easy little patriotic sign. So I just trimmed off one star out of the felt garland, the red star with the white felt star on top, and look at that. It's a perfect fit. All I got to do is just put it straight inside. I liked it better, I think, with the white star on top, and so that's what I decided to do. I'm just going to simply put a little hot glue in the back of this little star tray and put the little felt star garland right inside. I got lucky on that one. Look how perfect the fit is. And it looks coastal, I think, with the metal, the rope, and a star for 4th of July. Now, this next idea, again, I'm going to use one of the metal buckets from Dollar Tree. I love these for tier trays. They can make planters. They can make so many different things. They held our fireworks. And this is the little red truck pattern one with the flag in the back, like the sign we did for the other tier tray. I'm going to replace the red ribbon handle because I just didn't really like it. I didn't think it looked really coastal. So I'm just using some Dollar Tree twine and stringing that in, just simply tying a knot inside. That way it'll still have a handle, but it's not going to be like that red, like gift wrap ribbon that comes on them. I don't know why they put those on there. I don't like them. And I want this to be coastal patriotic, so instead of filling this with flowers, we're going to fill it with seashells. Now, if you don't have a million seashells like me, you could always put filler in the bottom, but I just grabbed a bunch of seashells and just piled them right inside. Perfect for coastal 4th of July. Now, this is a little succulent sign that I found at Dollar Tree. I thought it was cute and coastal, and I don't have to do anything to it. And I like the white frame. I think it's very, goes with the vibe of the coastal farmhouse. Now, this is the tier tray that we're decorating for the final tier tray. So it's 3-tier and it's metal, so it's a nice big one. That's why we had so many DIYs for this one. But here's our little seagrass that we made out of onion grass from the Dollar Tree. Love it in the seagrass basket. You can always thrift a basket like that as well. I'm sure you can find something like that at Goodwill. But the American flags look great in there, and I pair that with that little white whale. So we have a little coastal vibe, but it's still going with like the red, white, and blue. And then we'll also do that little bucket that we just filled with seashells right here on top. It's nice and small, and I don't have a lot of room on the tier tray on top. It is definitely the smallest tier. But, you know, there might be room for like one more thing. I'm going to kind of try to see if we can squeeze that succulent up there. And that looks super cute. What do you guys think about that? We got our little onion grass. I think that really is a great topper piece for this because, you know, it's really going to scream 4th of July and coastal with that great seagrass. But I kind of think it looks better this way maybe. And we can move on to the second tier of our 3-tier tray with our little red, white, and beach sign that we DIY'd. And I will share that printable below so you can kind of recreate that one. And then from the Shore Living, one of those little rope balls. So cute, very coastal. It's definitely going to provide a nice vibe of like with a rope on the second tier to go with that seagrass that we had there on top. I think it's a perfect size for this tier as well. Up next, we're going to do that little metal sign that we made out of the little metal star tray from Dollar Tree with the felt stars inside. Super cute. And I think that metal looks really good with that rope ball behind it. And then here is our little like slatted board of flag. I think that looks very cute. I love the distressing on that. With a little sand succulent from the Dollar Tree right in front is going to give a little coastal vibe to that flag. I just kind of want to stand that back like that, kind of lean it up against the pole. And here is our little whale that we made with string. And I'm trying to figure out the best way I kind of want to display him in there. I want him to kind of be like a little bit of a surprise piece, maybe with like the tail hanging off the side. I didn't know if you could see him too well, so I had a little painted wood block from the Dollar Tree, painted gray to kind of match my galvanized metal tray. And I kind of put that under there to boost him up so that you could see him a little bit better. Super fun for the coastal theme, right? So that is our middle tier, so we can move on to the bottom. Here is our little napkins and the little seagrass holder that we got at Target Dollar Spot. It's almost too big, but you know what? We're going to kind of make it work. Just kind of sit it right on top. And then next to that, I kind of want to, I was trying to think, do I need to put something under it to kind of like make it level? But I think it's going to work like that. And then here is our little just grass plant that I found around the house, just temporarily repurposing it by adding some little flag stripes to that. Super easy. And I filled up a nice large chunk down there at the bottom where it was kind of big. And here is that little Adirondack chair that we got at the Target Dollar Spot. And I'm going to use it to hold my salt and pepper shakers, and it works perfectly for that. And a little a succulent right there to the side as well. And I think that is going to finish off the bottom of this tier tray. I think this tier tray was really easy to put together with items from the Dollar Tree, my house, and Target Dollar Spot. And I think it looks really cute all tied together. What do you guys think about this one? Super fun, and I did DIY that little flag runner and a DIY that you might have seen a few weeks ago. And I think this tier tray looks great right on top of it. So many little fun coastal DIYs, and I will be sure to include a final reveal of all three of the Patriotic DIYs we did today. Remember, we did like that coastal, nautical, kind of red, white, and navy tier tray. Then we did the more traditional Americana, red, white, and blue flag tier tray. And then this one is coastal 4th of July. Hey guys, I want to take a quick moment and tell you that I've introduced memberships here on my channel. For $4.99 a month, you can support me here at Crafty Beach. You're going to get early ad-free access to my videos and other perks like shout-outs. So I want to give a huge shout-out, huge thank you to the following Crafty Beach members: Karen O'Haron, Coastal Couple, Pamela Bergeron, I Am Mojo Jojo, Mary Banks, Melinda Elizabeth, Jamie Job, Susan Edmonds, and Stacy Gravat. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. I appreciate you so much. So, happy 4th of July. I hope this gave you guys lots of inspiration for crafting. And so, let's do the final reveal.
America, and no one tires in America. In America, stars and stripes blind you. Can't you see why she tangles with liberty? Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Oh, oh, yeah. In America, in America. Whoa, whoa, whoa. In America. Before the morning sun hits me, I'll still be out on the town. And when we're loving this hell on earth, we'll never have to come down, down, so down. And you will see America. In America, in America. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Heads or tails in America. In America. Skies on fire. Rich make veil.
Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to watch more Crafty Beach, YouTube thinks you might enjoy this video right here.